There's a story in every box score. This channel's about those stories. This is Daily Random NFL. In 1926, the NFL was a very different place than we've come to recognize here 99 years later. There were 22 teams, and 18 of them you may or may not recognize. Teams with names like the Pottsville Maroons, the Milwaukee Badgers, the Providence Steamroller, worst logo ever, and the Racing Tornadoes. In addition, those 22 teams resided in one singular division. No conferences, no playoffs. Top team's a champ, second place is first loser. On November 25, in Week 11 of the NFL season, the 5-2-1 Los Angeles Buccaneers visited the 4-3-2 Detroit Panthers at Navin Field. The Buccaneers, despite carrying Los Angeles in their title, did not play in LA. They were a traveling team based out of Chicago. Tut Imlay and Brick Muller were the co-coaches of the team, and also players. Hall of Famer Jimmy Conzelman, inducted as both a player and a coach in 1964, was the owner, head coach, general manager, and starting quarterback for the Panthers. He had a 27-13-8 coaching record at the time. The Detroit Free Press has the best recap I could find, and it's almost the only thing on the internet with any reference to this particular game. Quote, Detroiters went to Navin Field Thursday afternoon to see Mr. Brick Muller, but instead they saw Mr. Tut Imlay. Messrs. Muller and Imlay are members of the Los Angeles Buccaneers, who defeated the Detroit Panthers on this occasion 9-6. Those who came to see the renowned Mr. Muller perform soon began thumbing through their programs to learn the identity of the flashy Los Angeles backfield man, who's making good returns on Detroit's punts. It was Mr. Imlay himself, and further inquiry revealed that in his collegiate days, he was also some pumpkins as a member of California's team. Imlay continued his strong play throughout, in fact, got better as the game went on, and made the spectators forget about Muller. A wet ball prevented Muller from doing any of his fancy forward passing, but a muddy field did not prevent Imlay from racing about and eventually defeating the Panthers. It was in the fourth period that Imlay furnished the real thrills, almost single-handedly accounting for a march of 93 yards, which turns what looks like certain defeat for the Californians into victory. The procession began on the visitors' 7-yard line at the opening of the final quarter, with the Panthers leading 6-2 and apparently assured a victory. Imlay carried the ball time and again, and there was no stopping him until he had neared midfield when the Panthers' defense braced, requiring a Los Angeles punt. That slowed up the Westerners' drive only momentarily, though, as Detroit soon kicked, a weak effort which gave the Californians the ball just beyond midfield. That was the signal for another start for Imlay, and this time he made a thorough job, never stopping until he had crossed Detroit's line on an 8-yard run, with the points which were to win for his team. In the third quarter, Dinger Doan personally attended to the making of a Detroit touchdown by a series of line smashes, beginning on the Westerners' 25-yard line, finally going over on a 9-yard drive off tackle. The resultant 6 points offset 2 points gained by the visitors a short time before on a crazy safety, which for a few minutes had players and officials alike befuddled. Forced to punt from the back of his own goal line, champion pro wrestler and Detroit punter Gus Sonnenberg got away a faulty boot, which was short and out of bounds from the very start of its flight. Rulebooks disclosed, since the ball never was over fair territory, it was a safety. It was the Panthers' second defeat of the season on Navin Field, and the first time in 6 games they had been scored upon. They played with much dash, especially in the second half, and probably would have won had they been opposed to almost everyone except Imlay and the Californians. Unquote. The Buccaneers lost their final game and closed the season with the 6-3-1 record, in what would be their only NFL season, tying for 6th place. The Panthers lost their last two games of the campaign to close with a 4-6-2 mark, placing 12th in the league. It was the second season of their existence, and there would not be a third. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Check here tomorrow for our trip back to the final week of the 2022 season. Bye.